Hey, how's it going? I'm Mike Deutsch. Another episode of Fool's Gold. We're out here with Ed Subius. We're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Famous for its cheese curds and also a small motorcycle company by the name of Harley-Davidson. This bike show has been going on a few years. It's got a bunch of really good bikes and a couple of really terrible ones. You come for the bikes and you stay for the cheese curds. Guys, showing off some bikes I like at Mama Tried. These aren't the best bikes here. I don't know anything about good looking bikes. I just know the bikes that I like. And we're going to start with this one from Jeff, the redheaded stepchild he calls it. I like it because it's an Evo. You know, I'm a fan of the Evo motor. It's tried and true. It's the Chevy 350 of Harley-Davidson power plants. I also think it's a good looking motor. There's a lot of cool things on this bike. He's got this F&A drive magneto thing going on. It's the first time I've ever seen one in practice. It looks like a complex mechanism, but I've been assured that it works. He's got a cute hydraulic clutch. Jeff's a big boy. He has a real cool M8 chopper. This is also a big boy chopper. I like the stance on this thing. You're gonna hear me say stance about 5 times when I talk about all these bikes, and that's because it's cool to look at a bike in the bike show, but to me a motorcycle's best viewed moving. And the first thing you notice when a motorcycle is moving is the stance. This one's got a great stance. It's loud and proud. It's assertive, and it's just a cool motorcycle. Jeff's a great guy. I know he rides his bikes. He puts miles on them. I saw him in Colorado last year riding his big M8 chopper, and I'm sure he'll put some miles on this one. But I really like what you did here, Jeff. Congratulations. We're talking about bikes that I like. Again, I don't know anything about style, but I can tell you bad style, and this electric bike is so fucking bad. I mean, Billy Lane called. He said he wants his Hubless Psychobilly back. I think this one was a outcast from the movie Tron. We're gonna check out this next bike. It's from Shane, Heavy in the Streets on Instagram. Shane, I'll let Shane talk about his bike a little bit. Talk about your motorcycle.
You caught me off guard here.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Speak up.
S&S Panhead, 93-inch, Baker 4 and 6. Got the old PM wheels on it. Split the tank and narrowed them. 41 tubes and 39 trees. If anybody didn't notice that. Reese's Ultra bars helped me build the bars and the exhaust. Ben Jeff Wayne. And my painter is Ryan out of Cleveland, BMA Custom Paint.
Cool bike, Shane. Yeah, some of the stuff I like the bigger tubes and the smaller trees. That's cool. The headlight mount, the Reese bars, always Reese gets it, you know. The controls are pretty killer. I know what it takes to run some high mids like that, and it's kind of hard to make them work and still be rideable. I like how you mounted the oil tank. It looks like it's going to stay there for a minute, and of course those PM wheels are the coup d'etat.
All right, man.
So it's a cool bike. And were you from Ohio, White House?
Yeah, White House, Ohio. Born and raised in Toledo, though, in the city. And then bought out in the country about 20 years ago. Got a family and building bikes and having a good time.
I dig it. I dig it. Next up on the 5 bikes I like here at Mama Tried, Tommy Boy Speed's a little shovelhead. I talked to him earlier about it. He said it was a bike that he used a bunch of parts that a lot of guys would just throw away or they didn't cost a lot, you know. If you know Tommy Boy, you know he loves him a Super B. This one's got a little Thunderjet on it. That's a cute little touch. FX oil tank. Those things get thrown away at the swap meet, so it's cool he used it. It looks like he repurposed some brakes off who knows what. Maybe a Harley, maybe a Gixxer, I don't know, but super cool. Cool tank. Morris mags. You know I love me some mags, and these ones are the best, and not that easy to make work. So I know Tommy put in a little work on it. Lockhart oil cooler. That's a touch that you put on a bike that you actually ride. So I know Tommy's gonna put some miles on this thing. Enclosed primary. Everybody can run a belt drive. It's harder to put that thing in an enclosed little case and make it look good. He did it. And then his homage to Sonny Barger's bike, Sweet Cocaine, by running this pipe out the left side. That's a cool touch. Tommy, you killed it on this bike. It's a good example of what a chopper should be, in my opinion. Just a lot of good stuff. Next up on the bikes I like, Bobby Goodtimes, Chicago, Brave Town. Cool chopper. All the parts on it just feel warm and used, and broke in. That's obviously the coolest looking Harley-Davidson power plant. The knucklehead, definitely the best looking. He's got this cool front end, looks like it's rigid. Awesome stuff. It's got a stock oil pump. You know when the guys have these cool motors and they put a billet oil pump on there, it's just like, man, you didn't try very hard, you know, you fucked it up. He's running a Linkert carburetor. You can't go wrong with the Linkert. It's just got that look. And then, of course, the hardest thing to miss on this bike is the frame. I don't know if Bobby found the frame like this or he molded it, you know, in that 60s chopper style, but it's just super cool. He's got that Midwest seat, kind of an ode to Tom Pugel. Not a lot there, you know, and that's true chopper shit. And I just like this bike, Bobby. I don't know you very well, but I met you maybe once at Bravetown, and you guys got it going on over there. And this is just a cool bike that it's got that Midwest chopper style. Beautiful, man. All right, I think this is the last one we got. Matt, old pro Matt, and his knucklehead out of Rhode Island. This is a bike I saw him putting together on Instagram, watching him. The thing that attracted me was this thing he was doing with the seat, just super cool. Custom touch on, you know, the original seat. Made it a little bit smaller. We were talking to him last night at the Polka Bar, poking my eyes out, if you will. And he was just talking about little stuff he did, like bring the exhaust back to the middle of the tire, just like where the stock one would end up, but obviously that's not a stock exhaust. Welded these risers to the Springer front end, very cool. It's a black bike. I love when Harleys are black. Harley should always be black. Ducati should be red. It's just, I think that's something that shows the lineage of the motorcycle. He's got these old chrome floorboards, very cool. It's just a tasteful bike. I think a lot of guys build motorcycles and they just keep going, you know, they should stop, you know, at some point, and usually you keep going, you paint the rims red, you make the tires white, like that's how you ruin a motorcycle. Some of these guys should build airplanes or helicopters or something because they just want to keep going. This guy, Matt, knows when to stop. He's got an eye for all things fine. I think he works at Tiffany Jewelry, so obviously he's got a good eye, and this bike just proves what a nice motorcycle you can put together when you know when to stop. Great stuff, Matt. I appreciate you talking about it. Got a couple bikes here, honorable mentions. This one right here, Shovelhead, Anthony Sundell, Hot Tamale, and Crust We Trust. Another honorable mention, this tracker over here, Harley-Davidson K motor, beautiful bike. Terry Baber, Frankencycle, good looking bike, Terry. Another honorable mention, this Triumph. I actually pulled this Triumph out of the NorCal Cycle Swap, Sacramento, California. It found its way down to, I believe, Florida, and Jared Weems brought it back to life. He left it as crusty as it came, and it is a beautiful example of a pre-unit Triumph. More bikes worth mentioning here at Mama Tried. This Shovelhead from Leo, I don't know what I like about it. It's the stance, I think. It's stripped down. I'm not really a bare metal guy, but this one just looks good naked, and it's a cool bike. It's got the right stance, and it's got some cool parts on it. Beautiful work, Leo. Here's another cool one. It's a swing arm. He's running a 9-spoke Harley-Davidson mags. It's hard to beat a 9-spoke, good looking bike. It's from Leon Kennedy. He calls it Black Rot. It's a 1966 Harley-Davidson FL. Got another Midwest guy, Ivan Snodgrass. Grass or Snodgrass. Ivan and his brother always put together some cool bikes. His brother's out on the West Coast. Ivan's on in the Midwest. This is a cool knucklehead, little racer style. Got some cool tidbits on it. That police oil tank, that 2-into-1 collector. And he's running that Linkert on his Harley-Davidson knucklehead motor. Great bike, Ivan. You always got the eye for style. I love it. Another crusty one out of Georgia. Panhead, Sportster tank, 6-pin pullbacks, Harley-Davidson front end. They took that neck and they raked it way out. This is a good looking bike, and I think it's got that look. Chelsea Beckett, he's out of Flowery Ranch, Georgia. Southern boy. This one belongs to Jeremiah Gentry. He calls it the Swampster. Man, ironheads, I think, take a lot of abuse. They get beat up. Not everybody loves an ironhead. I'm certainly one of those guys. I don't love an iron head, but this looks like a cool little chopper, and you got to respect something like this. It's got a cool front end. It's got a bunch of the original stuff on it, but it's got a little custom touch on it. This is a cool bike. Good job, Jeremiah. Hard to miss this bike. Sam Weber out of Massachusetts, his Panhead. Springer front end, killer. Magneto, killer. Modified Wassel, also very cool. The stuff that you cannot miss from 50 feet is these pipes, these 2-into-4 pipes, very original, very cool. Sam, you did a beautiful job on this bike. I watched it go together on the Instagram, and I'm stoked to see it in person. Awesome job, Sam. Last, certainly not least, Ben Jeff, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Everybody knows the bike, everybody knows the man. Does it live up to the hype? Most certainly it lives up to the hype. He's got the cool wheels, he's got the PM brakes, all kinds of Pro 1 tidbits. He's running Magneto, he's running a Mikuni carburetor. This thing is just detail after detail after detail. You could stare at it all day long. I've been fortunate to be sitting in our booth all day and looking at it, and I couldn't think of a better bike to have our booth set up in front of them. Ben Jeff, beautiful bike, very, very, very cool. I enjoyed looking at it once again.